Hi and welcome to the Eraser Carver channel. Today I'm going to finish off the symbol series that I started off last year. Here's a reminder of the ones that I did: the yin and yang, the on symbol, peace symbol and the pentacle. So this particular one I'm going to do the ankh, the symbol of life. Now today I'm actually going to use some SoftCut, which is what I actually used here before. But this SoftCut has very kindly been sent to me by Chris from SD, and he sent me a great package of goodies. He sent me 3 pieces of the SoftCut. He sent me 2 pieces of SoftCut which is already mounted onto a wooden block, which is, you know, absolutely fantastic, really easy to work with and then to print with. He also sent me a brayer, and as well as all that, he even sent me an all-in-one lino cutter and barren tool, which is fantastic. You actually take the handle of the lino cutting tool off, undo this, and in there you have a whole load of different blades. Now I think for this particular carving I'm probably going to try one of the inverted V blades. There's a very nice fine one. I'll put that one to one side, and I'll probably choose this V blade. That's a nice one as well. I don't know if you can quite see that. All the rest I should pop back into their storage, ready to use the barren a bit later on. Pop that back onto there, and to actually put the blade in, I'm just going to put the tightener over the top, and probably going to choose the middle V blade, and basically you just pop the blade in and tighten it up, and that's it, ready to go. Right, I'm just going to move some things out of the way here so I've got a bit more space. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to actually measure up my block that I'm going to use today with the previous symbol series so that everything's exactly the same size. I'm going to grab a pencil and draw along where the previous block came to. As you can see, it takes pencil marks directly quite well, and then I'm just going to cut SoftCut up. A few passes through, and I can bend it over and just go through. I wouldn't recommend doing this because it should be health and safety. I've been doing this for years, so I know where the resistance lies and that I won't cut right through. Okay, so now I'm going to draw directly on to the SoftCut where I want my ankh to go. Let's just try and think where I want the top of the ankh symbol to be, the middle where the arms are going to be, around about here, the bottom. I'll probably make the arms out to about that kind of size, and then I should just draw in. I find you can see the pencil marks. You have to press down quite a lot to actually get the graphite in, but I can actually see a little indentation where the marks are, so it's perfectly great to use with pencil. There you go, I've got my rough shape drawn out in there. What I might do is get a pen and just go over that. This is one of my beloved Pitt Artist pens. can see that that takes pen brilliantly. Okay, so that's the symbol drawn out in pen, and now I'm going to use the V blade to cut out round the outside. So this is cutting really nicely through the SoftCut. Basically just putting the very edge of the left hand side of the V blade to the edge of my marker, and then I'm going to go back in this way, this time putting the right hand side of the V blade up to the edge of where the marker is. And that's cut out a lovely line. As you can see. So I'm going to continue to do that all the way around the symbol. Again, just here I'm using the left hand side. When I get into a corner, I'll just go up to the corner, stop, and come back at it from the other side. Now if we get to a bit here, I don't really want in this little corner to actually take the V blade in much further. So what I'm going to do for that one is just take my craft knife and cut out that little edge with my craft knife, and then that will just come away nicely. Right, so I'm going to continue round, and then I shall come back a bit later for the clearing out. Right, so that's all of the outside edge done, almost. Get the bottom done. And that didn't take long at all actually, and these blades are really nice and sharp and just glide through the SoftCut with no problem. I'm looking at this upside down, which is why it's taken me a while to get a picture in there for you. There we go. There, so you can just see the outside edge that I've cut away. So remember, all of this bit here is going to be the bit that prints, so this is the bit that I don't want to cut away. So now I'm just going to clear out the inner bits by going up to the edge of where I've cut before and simply going round. And if you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I like to keep a lot of lines in my carving, as you can see from the previous one. I like to keep a lot of ridges in from the edges of where I've actually carved out the material, and these ridges print up on the actual finished print and give a lot of character to the print, so I like to keep those in. So how I do that is basically cut right up to the edge of where the previous cut was before, and then that just leaves a nice ridge. Right, so I finished carving out all of the rest of the block, and as you can see I've actually carved out everything going in the same direction as the ankh, so that will hopefully give some nice movement to the print when it comes out, because hopefully the ink will pick up a few little bits of these carving lines around the ankh symbol. So now I'm going to do some printing up, so I'm just going to put the baron together, take out the old tip, take that off, put that over there, and then put the baron together, screw the handle in, and then we have a nice baron in order to do some printing with. Now I've already started to lay out some ink onto my printing tray. I might just put a little bit more on there. Should hopefully be okay. Now when you're rolling out ink, it's okay when you're actually initially doing the initial roll out to actually go backwards and forwards, but once you're ready to actually put the ink onto your brayer, it's best just to go in one direction so that you cover the brayer entirely with ink. So I'm just going to do a little bit more there, going backwards and forwards. I'll spread all the ink around. And now that I've got all the ink around, I will just roll in one direction. And that will make sure that the brayer is covered evenly with ink. And the same principles applies when you're actually putting ink onto your lino print. You just place the ink in one direction, so you roll in one direction. So you're not going backwards and forwards like that, you're just going in one direction. Of course you can turn around and go, but as long as you're actually just rolling the ink on in one direction instead of going backwards and forwards, then you're getting an even coverage of ink. Now I generally find that with a new piece of carving material it takes 1 or 2 passes of printing before you actually get a nice print, but I'm actually thinking that would turn out quite nicely. So let's give it a try. Just going to paste a piece of scrap paper over because this is just my first time. Now I can actually see on there that I've got a bit of a debris, probably from the carving. I'm just going to take it off and roll some ink over again, so hopefully that'll be okay. Place a bit of scrap paper over here to get my test print. Just gently press down with my fingers, and then I'll take the Baron, because if it's got a wider area I can create a bit more pressure and use this to rub over the back of the print. Okay, feels okay. Let's see what this test print looks like. Oh, not bad. I've missed a little bit there. I think, yeah, there's another little bit of debris, and bits of debris actually raise the paper a little bit so that the ink doesn't take. So I've got another one to do that, but I'm really pleased with how that's come out. The lines are nicely done, and that will be going into the last of my symbol series, which will be available to view at some point on erasercarver.co.uk. So thanks for watching. Thanks to Chris from SD for sending me all those fantastic samples, and I hope you'll give SoftCut a try. It's a good alternative to lino, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye.